What would be most useful for you today?
So getting the day by day plan has been really helpful and has kind of helped me organize my time over the next 4 months. I think I may have mentioned this to you in the email before, but I had spent a lot of my summer studying for the LSAT just on my own, but kind of ran into like a plateau. Like I felt like I kind of plateaued or was getting a little bit of LSAT fatigue, but did manage to bring my score up about 10 points from where my diagnostic was, which is about 148. But I do have some questions about how to best manage time, and I'm still working on accuracy as being my main goal for right now. And I haven't really been doing sections timed, but how should I kind of balance the act between focusing on accuracy and focusing for time? Because at the end of the day, time will play a huge factor in how many of the questions that I can get in and how many points that I can get. So what do you recommend on that?
Yeah, sure. So when you're working through the fundamentals and building a foundation, I want you to at least start doing them untimed so that you can increase your accuracy and give yourself the time to understand these, because the test is so strictly timed that it's unreasonable to ask people to complete the questions in the time allotted no matter what. Like, it's unreasonable, which is why
Right.
the curve on this exam is so brutal. What that means is that, at least at first, you want to slow down, take the time to really thoroughly understand what makes up this exam, how the questions are designed. But once you've gained a basic familiarity with the different question types, then I want you to introduce timing relatively soon, because the exam that you will be taking, of course, is timed, and you want to know if your strategies are efficient or not. This obviously is a bit of tug of war here between accuracy and timing. So part of this does come down to just your personal judgment as to, well, your test date's coming up in X number of months, and if X is a low number, then you got to get that timing done sooner. So for some people, it may be that once you're at 75% accuracy, that is enough to move on to timing everything. For others, it might be 60%. For others, it might be 80%. It's all based on just where you're at with the upcoming test date.
And do you find that students tend to start with like more time than what's allotted and wean themselves down, like starting with 42 minutes and 40 all the way down until you can get down to 35? Or do people just tend to start right at the, get used to the 35?
A lot of people do start with what you're suggesting, actually, or people will try 35 and see, no way that's happening, and they'll maybe jump ahead actually to giving themselves double that and gradually cutting down. I think 42 is good, and that's very reasonable. But for some people who are having more trouble, they might want to give themselves an hour for a section, then cut it down in increments of 5 minutes till they get down to 35.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. I think for me, I have my biggest struggle is with logical reasoning. And I think part of that, or that's where I want to focus a lot of my energy, because it does count for half, obviously, of the exam with having 2 sections, but pretty consistently, I'm always missing about 5 questions on the logical reasoning. With games, actually, I think I do find that one to be a lot more learnable. And when I'm not timed, sometimes I can get perfect accuracy on that one. And critical reading is the reading one it really just goes up and down. There's been no consistency in my marks. Sometimes I do really well. Sometimes it's really bad. And the timing affects me hugely on that one. Actually, I find that when I try to bring the time down on the reading section, I tend to do a lot worse. Whereas the games one, I don't miss as many questions. I just don't answer as many, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I know that I do think that maybe I will still follow the 4-month, the day-by-day course, because I think I still do want to get into the fundamentals of the different games. And I know that it looks like it starts off the first 2 weeks with, the first 3 weeks actually, with logic games. But I won't be able to join any of the sessions until mid-December. because I just, with class in the morning, I just can't commit to the 1 a.m. start times.
I understand.
But I will be back in the States December 15th, and I'll be there for a month. So I think once I'm in Texas where my family lives, I'll be able to join more of them. But until then, I think I plan really on starting next week with the week by week, the day by day plan that you had sent me.
Great. Yeah. In the meantime, you can feel free to submit your questions in advance of these classes, and I'll make it a priority to cover them during the class. And of course, you can always catch the recordings afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That sounds really great. Thanks so much for sending that over. And
are there any particular questions you have in the moment that seem especially pressing to you that we could talk about now?
In terms of like, not particularly. I know that I basically starting, because I've been just finished one block of my master's course now, starting next week is kind of where I will be devoting more of my time to LSAT. So admittedly, I've only done the first couple of videos on games because I've just been finishing up this block of my master's degree. So I'm off more or less now until mid-January. So I don't have any like pressing questions for right now, but I can always, I just wanted to kind of meet you and kind of talk about the areas that I want to focus on. And honestly, a lot of my pressing questions or concerns have been, I do feel a lot better with the day by day study plan. Because I'm sure this is something I've read through the blogs as well, that there are a lot of people who've expressed feeling like LSAT studying fatigue, which I definitely went through over the summer. And now I'm really struggling to know how to make the best of the time that I have to have the most effective studying time, basically. Having this where I feel like I can check off, doing a little bit of something every day is really helpful.
I'm glad to hear it. That's really the goal, is to remove the ambiguity around what to do, so you avoid burning through practice material, and you can instead know exactly what to be doing every single day, and also what not to do, what to avoid.
Yeah. And then I think I when I started doing my prep, I actually did take a lot of the exams that you have listed for the first week of the games. There's someone that I know that's studying for the exam as well, and I may check to see if I can make photocopies of their book because I've already written all over mine. But yeah, I think that might just be the best thing. I wouldn't remember any of the games anyway because I did them a couple of months ago and I've done so many since. But other than that, no, I don't really have any questions. Thank you for
of course. And if you want guidance on doing other games instead from a different set of exams, just let me know and I can give you recommendations as to how to go about that.
That would be actually really great. I have all of the other, I have the books for, I have several of the books for the practice test before the 62 or the 63, whatever it starts on, till 72. And then I also have 72 through 81. I'll take a look and maybe I can email you about that.
Yeah, of course. Feel free, because I do have some materials around using the 52 to 61 set instead, if you want to use that for your foundation.
Yeah. Actually, that would be great if you could send that, because I haven't done those yet.
Sure.
I've only done two of those exams. The rest of them, I haven't touched anything in the book. I think that would be really helpful. Yeah.
Sure. Fantastic.
Great.
Awesome, Sesson. Anything else for today that you would need to feel complete for our call?
No, I think I will definitely email you more as I kind of start the day by day, and also watching the sessions that I won't be able to attend live. But, if anything comes up there, I'll also, feel free to reach out. I appreciate how quick you are to answer emails and such.
Yeah, of course. Sure. Yeah. Glad to help. We'll keep in touch and let me know if you need anything at all as you move forward.
Okay, will do. Thanks so much.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.